For the 6 of you that keep coming back to this channel, you know that we recently went to Southeast Mini Trucking Nationals. The wife and I loaded up in the Colorado and we made the 8+ hour trip to Maggie Valley, North Carolina. Of course, it turned into an 11-hour trip. Thanks, Atlanta. But once we got there, it was well worth the trip. There was 3 solid days of showtime, and in the evenings, the nights were filled with dragging and cruising and hanging out in parking lots. I threw that last clip in there for Jack over at Ostentatious. He's got one of the better show coverage videos that I've seen, so check him out when you get a chance. Wait till after this video. So while we were at the show, the wife and I each made a note of which trucks were our favorites. And then later, we compared notes, and if the same truck was on her list that was on my list, we're gonna put it in this video. Now, Tammy's list started with this bus right here. We both loved this bus, but it wasn't on my list. I actually kind of wanted to jump on it and take a ride with him when he was cruising, but I figured that would probably require me to leave my wife sitting in a chair on the side of the road, and that wouldn't have worked out real well. Next on her list was this truck. Absolutely beautiful truck, but again, I didn't get a lot of video of it because it wasn't on my list. But let me explain. I went to Mini Trucking Nationals to see mini trucks, and these are full-size vehicles. I was so focused on mini trucks, I didn't stop to take into consideration the fact that the entire mini trucking culture has its roots in every other aspect of custom automotive, whether it be the vanning guys or full-size trucks, anything custom. The hydraulics and the lowrider guys, the VW guys, all of these contributed to mini trucking, and I didn't take that into consideration. Realistically, there's no reason that any of these other types of vehicles should not be in a mini trucking show, and that's on me. Now, my list included this Blazer right here, and I didn't have to go very far to find it because it was right outside our motel room. All we had to do is walk out the door, and there it was. Beautiful. Next on my list was a combination of Purple Pimpin' and Pimpin's Wife. These 2 trucks were gorgeous, but there's something about the husband-wife combination that have the same passion for mini trucking, and that was awesome. You could tell these guys had a lot of pride in their vehicles, and they showed it, and I really enjoyed seeing these vehicles. Next on my list was this vehicle right here because it screams old school mini trucking, and I love that. Now, these 2 trucks were also on my list, and Tammy Lynn wasn't with me whenever I saw these 2 trucks, so it's quite possible that the only reason they weren't on her list is because she never saw them. Now, let's cover the vehicles that were on my list and Tammy Lynn's list. Let's pause right here because this first truck, it was instantly on my list. I had several reasons why it was on my list, but I didn't get as much video of it as I should have because I did not expect it to be on Tammy Lynn's list. The fact is, it was on my list first and foremost because GM never made one of those. I did have the opportunity to catch up with the owner while he was cruising down the strip, asked him a couple of questions. It turns out this truck started life as a standard cab S10. The back half of the cab is more standard cab S10. But then that makes you wonder, what about the doors? Well, the doors are 2 back halves of doors put together. That's how you get the straight window channels, window frames, whatever you want to call them. Now for me, The engineering and the fabrication, the design, all that stuff is so cool that it was an instant favorite. Never mind the fact that it's a very long first gen S10, and that's right up my alley. Now, the next reason I love this truck is because of the tilt bed. It is a manual tilt. That's the kind of thing I would have done back in the day when I didn't have the money to do a standard tilt, and we'll probably cover that much later in life, but it's an awesome concept. Obviously, you can't drive this truck with the bed tilted, or at least not very fast because of the wind, due to the fact that the bed tilts so high. But it does an awesome job of showing up the undercarriage of the vehicle, and I love that. Now, the reason it was on the wife's list is because she loves the fact that it was unique, it was different, it was one of a kind, even at a show as big as that. But on top of that, she fell in love with the interior. Something about that red interior with that old dash in it. She loved that. Now, this next truck, I took a whole bunch of footage of it, but I don't know if I just can't find it or if it got lost or corrupted or whatever. I don't know, but I'll show you what I do have. The reason this truck went on both of our lists was as simple as can be. It is the essence of old school mini trucking. I had a conversation with the owner, and I wish I had just sat him down and interviewed him about this truck, because some of the details are awesome. This truck is exactly the way his truck was in 1989. Seems to be a recurring theme in the mini trucking world, myself included. So many items on this truck, all the way down to the paint job, are old school mini trucking. It is the essence of what you look for if you're into the old school mini truck scene. And I was blown away. The ground effects kit, the paint, the wink mirror, the turbo mirrors that are mounted up high on the window pillar, all the way down to the aftermarket accessories installed in the cab. This truck is everything I was looking for in 1989. It has it all. From the rims to the grille to the single wiper arm, which has the double blade, mind you. This truck would be at home at a car show in 1989 just as much as it is in today's age. Now, we've all seen this truck on the internet, but if you ever have the chance to check it out in person, take that opportunity, because the pictures and the videos you're going to see online do not do this truck justice. There is absolutely no wonder why this third truck was on both of our lists, and the reason was attention to detail. This truck is immaculate. There is not a bolt, a nut, a washer on this truck that has not been touched. I could have sat there for 3 solid hours and listened to James talk about this truck. It is awesome. The amount of work, time, years that went into building this truck. Freaking immaculate.
Yeah, my goal was not to have a single piece of plastic visible.
You point down.
Nailed
Not
it.
a single piece.
Nailed it.
It was wrapped. Everything is wrapped. There is not a piece of plastic visible anywhere. Did you catch the key? I took the original 59 Zephyr key and put it in between two pieces of billet, the truck shape.
That is so cool. That's awesome.
Because the key's so short, the key's only this big, and the hangs and scratches the dash, and I said I can't have that.
That makes sense.
But everything works. The factory GM heater works. The fan, the hot, cold, defrost, vent. I modified it and made it work. Factory GM components in behind that, so it all works. Power lock switches in the console, in the glove box.
You're all good, man. Hey, we're here for the same reason.
I've been seeing it all over Facebook. I was like, I gotta go see it in person. It's the cleanest S10 I've ever seen.
Thank you.
It's down.
They added about 5 to 6 inches to the front of the dash to shape it.
Yes.
So short stuff, full handle, the little knob to cover up the studs from the
I
frame.
did notice that.
I sent the nuts up nickel plated, and then you still have this ugly stud. But
Well, yo, Victor, you should try one. They're so good. Okay, Dad?
Peace, love, and mini trucks.